What's up, guys? Today we're working on the mother-in-law's Escort again. This will be the final video that we do on this thing. Well, hopefully at least. It just needs a transmission service. So we're gonna change the fluid. We're just gonna drop the pan, change the filter, and refill whatever fluid fell out of it. So I'll try to get you down there. We have it on ramp, so it might be pretty high. Just going to throw a plug in there. This video is sponsored by us, Backwoods Customs. Please support us, buy some decals, check them out, hit the like button, and subscribe if you'd like. Now, on to the action. Alright, so these Escorts are a little tricky. They have a bracket or a piece of the frame that bolts in the front and the back, which is right here. So we're going to try to do it, I guess, without taking that out, right? What do you...
we're going to try. We're going to see.
Why would Ford make such a simple process so difficult?
Something you're supposed to keep servicing.
And it's not like it's like something stupid where it's like a V6 or something. They shoved it in a tiny car. Like, it's only a 4-cylinder.
Yeah, like, why couldn't you put like a hole here? Like you said.
Yeah.
Wait a second. There's like, maybe I could. I should say hole. I might be able to go through that. I mean, it doesn't even line up with the bolt. Like, why could you drill this to... Alright, I'll put that together. And I, like, assemble it through the hole. It doesn't even line up.
Alright, so he's got most of the bolts out and a couple of the other bolts are just loose because you don't want the pan to come flying down at you with all this fluid in. So what you do is leave a couple in, leave it loose so you can crack it away from the transmission housing, and then it'll drain out, and then once it stops draining or it gets close, you can take the rest of the bolts out. It just minimizes the mess that you're going to make. You are going to make a mess, so I mean, there's no ifs, ands, and buts about that when you're dealing with transmissions. Oh, there you go. See, he's got it cracked. Oh, he caught most of it. Oh, nice. Maybe that's why Ford puts that big housing there, so it catches the fluid.
Is that more transmission fluid?
That is super thin for not being warm at all. Wonder where our hard shifting issue could be coming from. It's hard to build the right amount of pressure when it's very thin oil in there. Alright guys, so the trans pan is off. Here it is. You can see this has been done already because there's RTV on here, and manufacturers generally don't use RTV. And you can see here there is quite a bit of material. So it's actually not too bad, but you can see there is material on these magnets. So there's no glitter though, so that is good. The magnets got everything, so that's looking good. Wayne's gonna take this over to the parts washer and get her all cleaned up. So Wayne's just wiping off the magnets now. You just want to get all the grime and stuff off of them. It's very normal to have a lot of material on them. I would not worry about it. We've had, like, my Jeep, my 96, before we started doing YouTube, it was as round as that coffee can. That, you know, there was a ton of material in it, and never had a problem yet. It's got 40,000 miles on it. So.
Oh yeah, explain about my parts washer here. All it is like a tub.
Oh yeah, well it was originally a parts washer, but then
I used different solvent and it burned up the pump.
Yeah, the pump went bad. We didn't get one, so
that's why it's like a mess like this.
We just keep like Caro in it and stuff, and then recycle
the. Should have a better one. When you get ones with the pump and all, that's a lot easier.
But basically, just get it all cleaned out. You know, use brake clean, use whatever you got, and then you know, we'll show you getting the gasket off once we get it cleaned up a little better in here. But basically, since it's RTV, just scrape it off and just take a Scotch-Brite pad or whatever you got and just get the metal shiny with no more material on it, and you'll be good to go. Alright, so as you can see, the pan is all fresh and clean in there. So now we're going to take the RTV off of there, and we'll show you how we're going to get that done. So it's actually a gasket with RTV, so time to get a scraper out and see if we can scrape any of it up. Now you can do this many different ways, guys, but the bottom line is just get all the material off of there, however you got to get it off. And you know, whether it's a scraper or a razor blade or a buffer like we have, Brillo pad, whatever, the bottom line is just get it cleaned up. Like I was saying, guys, just use whatever means you need to use to get it off. That's a bench grinder with a wire wheel on it, so whatever you got to do, just make it happen. Just get the material off of there so you can get it all set to go to get the new gasket installed. Alright, so there you can see after you got done wire wheeling it what it looks like. So just want to give it a final wipe down, get the gas material out of the pan. You do not want to stick it on the tranny like that. You will clog your filter immediately and be replacing your tranny shortly.
I always put the I'm going to grab the magnets here. Always almost forget those.
Yes, do not forget your magnets.
Grab them now so we don't forget.
You can see the new the old magnets, they're nice and clean now, nothing on them. And then you just want to make sure you put them over the dimples, because if you don't put them at the right spot,
filter or something else would hit.
Yeah, you could run into a clearance issue. So always make sure to put them back on the dimples. Alright guys, so we have our new gasket on there, and basically what he's doing is screwing the gasket to the pan so it holds shape. Some of the holes are smaller than others.
No, they're actually all small.
Oh, they're all okay. So
sometimes they only give you small ones at the corners on some gaskets.
Basically, we just want the gasket to flatten out so it allows us to easily put it on.
Do you want to do this? I'll bring over all the bolts. Just start them. Makes it a lot easier.
And then this is a rubber gasket, so we are not going to be using silicone or anything on there. Alright folks, as you can see, the gasket's pretty much all flattened out. I am going to tighten this one a little more to get rid of that, but that's how she's going to go on. So now he's just swapping out the filters. Basically you just unbolt it. What is there, 3 bolts I bolted on?
Yep, just 3 bolts here.
So he unbolted it and then made sure to put the new O-ring on, lubricating it with the trans fluid, and just going to put the new filter up in there. Then slide the pan on, tighten it up. Alright, now he's just down there basically just cleaning off the trans fluid and anything he can get off of there, so that when we put the new gasket on, the mating surfaces are both cleaned, which you saw us do the pan already. So once he gets that all cleaned up, we're going to try to get the pan in?
I might have an idea how to. I'm going to put the pan in because it is a very pain in the ass with this cross member. I'm sure you can undo motor mounts, jack the motor up a little bit, make some room. But I'm actually going to try putting a pry bar here and have Carl pry on it and see if I can sneak the pan in a lot easier than how it was for me taking out. You can pull up on that, Mom. See how you do. Actually, do it again. Again. I got an idea. You're gonna rest it on the jack. Right? See, we can lift up the very bottom of that pry bar so I can just put the jack on there. Hold the bar. Okay.
Oh, Christ. Which way is tight? I think that's tight. Just bending the bar. Yeah, you're just bending the bar. Alright guys, so it's time to add the trans fluid in. It calls for Mercon 5. So it calls for 4.1 quarts. So we got 4 quarts here. This one is just an older bottle, of course. This is SuperTech Walmart brand, best you can buy. And then this is Lucas Transfix. We're going to put some of this in. I like putting this in. I've had very, very good luck over the years with it. It says for compacts use a half bottle, so that's what we're going to do. There is nothing wrong with this transmission, just preventative maintenance going on here. So what I like to do is I like to just put 1 bottle in. Then I'm going to put half of this Lucas in. It's kind of like eating peanut butter. Lucas is super thick, so you take a bite of your sandwich and then you take some milk to help the peanut butter and the bread go down. So it's kind of the same deal. It recommends for me to put a half bottle in, so that's what I'm going to do. This thing is empty. Alright, so we got our peanut butter in there. Now we're going to wash it down with some milk. We're going to check the trans fluid. It's down on the ground level where it's supposed to be. Oh, it's nice and red. That's a good sign. We put it in the right hole. Well, I put it in the right hole. I was in charge of filling.
Sometimes on the sticks they tell you how to check it, and I don't see nothing on here.
Well, also on the sticks they'll tell you what trans fluid usually to put in too. So you always want to check your stick.
It says 20 degrees and 65 degrees Celsius.
So now this does have Lucas in it, so it's going to get residual along the whole thing. We're just looking for consistency.
I say we're up here. We're good. I think it might take some when he runs it.
Yeah, I'm going to go take it for a test drive quick. Alright guys, so that thing is done. I took it on a test drive. Holy jeez, does it shift. You don't realize how bad something shifts until it shifts really good. So, man, that was amazing. Like, I'll describe it like I described it to Wayne. When you're on the highway and you're in high gear and then you're just kind of cruising and you see the RPMs drop a little bit because it goes into overdrive or the torque converter locks or whatever it is, like that little, just like little nudge you feel. That's what it feels like when you're shifting now at wide open throttle. That thing is friggin' amazing. So that car's done. I hope that video of changing the trans fluid helped you out. Please make sure you change your trans fluid. It's much cheaper than changing a transmission, I assure you that, especially on these new cars. That transmission for the CVT that I replaced in the Compass a while back was a $1,000 bill just for the tranny. So we'll see you on the next video, guys. Please check out those links down below to our decal business. I hope this helped you. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.